Okay, here we have the unboxing video and a first look of the Coffee Tech DF83, which is the Australian and New Zealand version of the DF83. So this is our first shipment that's arrived. So just a quick unboxing and just go through what the differences are between the Australian and New Zealand version compared to some of the international models. So here you can see we've got a protective box that's wrapped around the upper box. And we have the Coffee Tech DF83 instruction manual, a little planing brush, let's see what we've got here. Some spare rubber boots for the upper bird carrier, dosing cup metal as opposed to the plastic one that you have with the DF64. The bellow with the cone shaped bottom to provide a bit of anti-popcorning. Dosing cup collar. RDT spray bottle. Another cleaning brush. And the silicone dosing cup adapter, which is included in the DF64 for the Australian New Zealand version, the Coffee Tech version of the grinder. So we've carried this through to the DF83, which makes putting a dosing cup in and out of the grinder a lot easier rather than fitting it into the forks, and also brings it closer to the exit of the chute. Okay, so move that to the side. There's the hopper. So a hopper easily holds 250 grams of coffee in there. Oh man, it's very heavy. I might just move that box out of the way. There we go. And there is the DF83. Okay, so we've got the timber bellow lid, the middle indicator ring, and what you'll also notice with the Coffee Tech DF83 is, I might just zoom in on this. What you see is we've revised the indicator dial, so your 0 points where the Coffee Tech logo is, every 5 notches it's slightly raised, and so it's easier to read what grind setting you're at. And then we've continued that all the way through, so you can grind up to a grind setting of 120. So what we found in our testing, some brew methods were grinding between the 90 and back to the 0 point, but there was no marking there, so we didn't know what grind setting we're at. And this will be especially helpful if you're doing cold brew grinding. So that's unique just for the Coffee Tech DF83. So it just gives you a bit more of a range, and it's easier to read with these little indentations that are slightly higher than the normal numbers. So when you've got your indicator on there, you can easily see, okay, so if that's 15 there, that's 14, that's 13. My grind setting's 13. It was a little bit difficult to read it under the original indicatoring. So we'll just quickly open it up. So one of the things I like to do when I take the upper burr carrier off is I grab a permanent marker and I just like to mark which side goes where, so then I know. I just put a mark there so I know that when I put it back in, it has to go to the top. So the other thing you'll notice with the Coffee Tech DF83 is we have the DLC, which is a diamond-like coating burrs. So these come standard on the DF83 in Australia and New Zealand. So you won't have an option of getting the steel burrs in Australia and New Zealand. They'll just be the DLC burrs. So just pop that back on. And you can see with the DF83, it's very simple to get the collar back on. You don't have to push down like you had to with the DF64 to try and get it to grab. So there we go. So put that back on there. Now with the dosing cup adapter, this really, we found, significantly transformed how you could use the DF64, and similarly for the DF83 as well. So basically you just slide it into the forks there, and then it's just a matter of popping your dosing cup in there. So I'll just move that grinder and zoom in a bit. Sorry, move the camera and zoom in a bit so you can see it's literally in and out. The problem without it, if you're using the dosing cup, it's just that little bit more fiddly, a bit more play, and by constantly putting the dosing cup in or out, you do wear the boots, the rubber boots that are on the fork. You wear those out quite quickly. So we found that by having the silicone dosing cup adapter, the wear and tear on the boots is negligible, because there's nothing rubbing in on it on a regular basis, and the dosing cup just simply clips in and out. And the other advantage of this is you can pretty much use any dosing cup. So if you don't like this style of dosing cup and you've got a preferred style of dosing cup, chances are it'll fit in here. Also reduces that gap, so you have less overspray of coffee grounds. Now this is the upgraded version of the DF83, which does have the plasma generator, which will reduce static significantly. So we'll do another video on that, but this was just a quick unboxing video to give you a quick rundown, a quick overview of the Coffee Tech DF83, and yeah, hopefully you liked it, and yeah, you can see that there is some differences with the Australian version and the international versions, and we think the improvements we've made on it on the Australian version does make it, the DF83 does take to a bit of a different level. So yeah, perfect fit for home, obviously, but we think it's also a great grinder for any cafes that are looking to introduce a single origin program, or they want to do single dosing, or use it as a decaf and a single origin grinder, or they want to grind some coffee for customers, say 250 gram bag of coffee to take home. Anyway, that's a quick overview of the DF83, and yeah, stay tuned, we'll post some more videos in its performance, and how it grinds, how quickly it grinds, and how the DLC burrs perform. Thanks, take care.